Hey everybody, David here from True North Wilds, and today I've got the Simple Fishing RLM Elite May multi-species box. I'm going to open up this box, show you all the good stuff that's inside. While I do, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds. You can find me on Instagram at ThomasDGS_angling. And if you'd like to read, check out our blog website, TrueNorthWilds.com. Adam just posted a great article about catching some big spring walleye. So as I get into the box here, the first thing out of the box is the multi-species card. So it's got a list of all the baits that are in the box, gives you prices on them. I'm not going to look yet because one thing I like is a surprise of what comes out of this box. Got a sticker from Simple Fishing and then some information on Simple Fishing's social media. First thing out of the box is the Weapons of Bass Destruction. It's a skirted 5/16 ounce bass jig. Get into it here. It looks like it's a Canadian company. That's nice to see. So it's a white jig with a white weed guard, and then it's got some white skirting with black and white or black and silver sparkles. There's also just like almost looks like a hologram in the skirt, so that's neat. I definitely use that for bass. Skirted jigs are not something I've used very often in the past, but as I plan to target some bass this summer, I'm definitely going to be reaching for this bait. Next out of the box, there's a live target Dace. So this is a crankbait. Says it's for 4 to 5 foot dive depth, 3-inch, and the color is a natural black red belly. So it looks like the typical quality we expect to see from a live target bait. It's about, I said a 3-inch crankbait. One unique thing I find about this bait is it's got a fin on the back, so that's not something you always see on crankbaits. And also the colors on it, it's a unique color pattern, not something I think I've seen before. Brown back with a yellow stripe and then the orange belly. It's kind of orange belly like a perch, but brown back like a small brown trout or something. One thing that I think of when I see this bait is trout. I was just out trout fishing this weekend, and what the technique I usually use is trolling with small crankbaits like this. This weekend the brown was working really good, and then a silver and blue was working good. So this color here was definitely something I would have tried if I had it, and the next time I'm out, I will. Next out of the box is the Blitz Ts2. Now this isn't a bait that I recognize or have seen before, and I'll pull it out here because I just want to get a better look at it. It looks to me like they've got this, so they've got this weighted head here, and then the big flashy spoon. So you like seeing that big flashy spoon, and I guess the idea is it comes with a treble hook. You pass your line through this weighted head, and I guess this just rides on your line. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look more into that, but it's something new. It's something neat. That's something I like about these boxes. You get new stuff all the time that you maybe haven't seen or wouldn't necessarily pick up off the shelf yourself. So here we have the NXS Soft Baits Mega Grub in white. It's a 5-inch grub. So it looks like the typical twister tail shape, but it's a lot bigger than the twister tails I'm used to seeing. It does extra odor. To me, it just kind of smells like the typical soft plastic bait, so it's not an offensive odor. That's nice. And so it is a 5-inch grub. It's a pretty substantial grub. White, that's a great color around here. We always use them for walleye. White twister tails and a white jig head is like the standard go-to jig and twister tail for walleyes. Nice thick body on it. It's pretty tough. I could rip it, but as hard as I'm pulling it here, it's not ripping, so that's nice to see. Yeah, not much scent on it, but a nice quality looking grub. So another skirted grass jig here. So this is a Crusher Lures half ounce Grass Assassin skirted jig. It's in the black blue Grass Assassin color. Take it out of the package here. So though we got two skirted jigs in the same box, this one is different. One thing that's distinctly different, it has a rattle on it. So it's got a rattle tube. You can hear a rattle in it. And then it's got the multicolored skirt, so it's blue and black. The black has some blue sparkles and the blue has some silver. It's a nice looking jig. Nice stiff weed guard on it. As I said, not something I've used a lot, but something I look forward to trying this spring. So we have another crankbait here. This is the Vexin Rattle and Wasp Walleye, Bass, and Crappie bait. It's a 1/4 ounce, number 5 they say. The Coot Crippler color. Pull it out here. So this is a floating, it says right on the bill, has the name Vexin Wasp and floating. Something unique about this, it's got 2 different color treble hooks on it. So in the pectoral area there, it's a red treble, and the tail just your typical silver. Nice colors on it, purple back. I like purple. Purple and white is a good combo around here, but it's got the big splash of red on it in the belly and on the sides. It's a nice looking bait. Something, again, that would work for bass. You could use it for walleye. Pike would bite on this if they saw it. So yeah, that's definitely a bait you can use for multiple species. So we got some more plastics coming out of the box here. This is Phoenix Baits from phoenixbaits.com. Spelled a little different. That's Phenix, so no O in there. And let's check these out. They look pretty oily. See if they got much smell on them. No, so it's just kind of that typical plastic smell. Not getting my hands all covered in some stinky oil. That's good. So it's a unique looking plastic. It's got a small twister tail on it. Something like what you'd see on a 1.5 inch or 2 inch twister tail grub, and then this long, stretchy, very deeply ribbed body. So it's going to have a lot of action. I'm sure it's going to make lots of noise in the water. With its narrow profile in the middle, we'll see how it stands up to repeated bites. Another thing I'm noticing as I look a little closer at this grub, it looks like the 2 halves of this mold were not aligned properly. So the 2 halves are kind of offset from each other, and that I think has led to some bleeding. So on the edges of the tail especially, you can see it's not a very clean edge, and it really thins out to a very thin edge, and the tip of the tail almost has like 2 prongs on it. So I'm not sure if that's typical or if there was just a problem with this casting. That said, I don't think the fish are going to mind. I don't think they're going to notice. I think it'll give it more action in the water. Yeah, so I'm still looking forward to using it. I'm not disappointed with it. Just something I observed. And last but not least, out of the box here, we've got the, who's this from? This is from Tackle Industries. So this is the Freshwater Super Cisco. It's got here internal rattles, blood red hooks. It says that it's for musky, northern pike, bass, and walleye. So northern pike, I definitely thought of pike as soon as I saw this lure. I'll pull it out of the package here. Nice, they've got some guards on the hook, so I'm not poking myself. It's not getting stuck in the packaging. It's a big bait. I'd say that's about 5 or 6 inches. Doesn't say on the package the length, but it's 5 or 6 inches. Big square bill on it. I'm sure it's going to give all kinds of action. It feels like a wood body, but it's got that big rattle in there. So that's not hooks. That's all rattle. There's a couple different sizes in there. The color, chicken pox. Yeah, I can see that with the dots all over it. And then the bright red treble hooks on the belly. This is definitely something I'm going to try for pike. Muskie, it says. You might get some muskie on this. Bass and walleye, maybe. But I think pike. So that's it for this month's box, all empty. I don't even have to look at the lure card to know that I'm getting more value. I expect that from Simple Fishing. But if I look real quick here, at a glance, I can see that I'm definitely getting more value than I'm shelling out for this box. So that's good. That's one thing that's nice about these subscription boxes. If I had to pick a favorite bait out of this box, I'd probably go with this big Tackle Industries Cisco here. It's got lots of bright color on it, contrasting colors, very visible in the water. It's got the nice red hooks and the red lip, which is gonna might simulate a wounded fish, and that big rattle in there. Like I said, I think of pike, and I actually have never targeted spring pike. I usually fish pike in the winter, so I'm looking forward to throwing this spring and trying for some spring pike. If you like what you saw, check out simplefishing.ca. They've got all kinds of boxes there. This was the multi-species box. They got a bass box, a walleye box, a pike box. Use promo code HOOKUP to get 15% off your first purchase. Comment below. Let us know what you thought of this box. If there's something you really liked, let us know what you're going to be throwing this spring. We always like to hear from you and hear what you guys are doing. We try to get back to all your comments. Like this video, subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, we'll see you outside.